Hello there, legends, and welcome to the Crypto Coins Crew channel. Today we're going to look at several coins, one of them being XRP, several other altcoins, and also we're going to look at Bitcoin and the market in general. So I want to start off by taking you back to the bull market that took place in 2017, when XRP basically pumped really hard, and then it started crashing and building a descending channel. Now, when it started crashing, it had a double bottom right here at roughly 13-14 cents. And after that, it ranged for about 150 days. If you look at exactly, it's 149 days here. And then it finally broke out roughly after 150 days out of this range. And then, of course, you know how the history goes. It started rocketing off and it hit its all-time high of roughly $3.84. In addition to this, it also had this trend line, which it was holding very well right here. If you look at it, here it is, this trend line. It tapped it roughly 1, 2, 3, 4 times and then took off. Now, I want to compare the structure to what's going on in the market with XRP right now in 2021. Please keep in mind that back there, XRP broke out in December and started flying in December, right, guys? So right now, we'll look at what's going on with XRP right now. Well, if you look at the chart, same thing happens. XRP pumped really hard, then it started crashing and building descending channel. If we zoom in here, we'll see that just like that last time when we had a double bottom at roughly 13-14 cents, here we had a double bottom at roughly 51 cents. Then we've been ranging here for 150 days. Right here, the bars, it ended. And we started a new cycle of 70 days, which I'll mention later on in the video that I've spoke off on Twitter, but we'll mention it here also just so you know what I'm talking about. But if we do break out in December, if we start flying in December and break out of this channel, it will be longer. It will be 173 days, somewhere in mid-December, or a little bit more, like 180 days, which is perfectly suitable because if we look at the statistical data, if we look at history, and we look at numbers, you'll see that cycles are lengthening a little bit and the ROI is smaller every single time. But anyway, let's not concentrate on that. Let's concentrate on the fact that it did exactly the same thing. Flew, after that started crashing, had a double bottom just like in 2017, been ranging for a very long time, roughly 150 days. And it had, the only difference that happened right now, it broke down from this trend line. In 2017, it held this trend line and then started flying. But the thing with trend lines, guys, you can really adjust trend lines to as much as you like. That's the thing with trend lines. So I could adjust it right here and start drawing out the different trend lines. So maybe it will tap it just like the last time 1, 2, 3, or 4 times and then start flying, right? That's insignificant. What I'm looking for is the macro perspective, not the micro perspective. And on the macro perspective, the pattern is pretty much identical. And if we pump, just like we pumped the last time, and the pump was 2,200%, which took us to $3.84. If we were to repeat the same thing that we did in 2017, and so far we are, pump, crash, double bottom, waiting for a long time, and then we'll start breaking out. This time, if this happened and we pump 2,200% again, it would take us once again to this range I keep talking about of $7 to $13. It would hit about $12 per XRP. Now let's move on and look at something else. Now the thing I want to show you next, let's look at these two patterns right here. If you'll see, they look pretty much identical. Look at the way this crashing structure took place. For a very long time, it was stuck in here doing nothing. Imagine being here in this moment, right? You would be thinking that XRP is just going down and not doing anything. But if you actually pay attention, it was building high lows here, 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 and here. So it was in a macro uptrend. Now let's look at what's going on right here again, ever since the blow off top. XRP, after having bottomed out just like it had here, it's actually making higher lows once again, here, here, and here. So it is once again in an uptrend, and just like the last time, things seem bleak, right? For a very long time, XRP is boring, it does nothing, and then it has these explosive price explosions. And if you look at what happened, from the bear market bottom, we pumped roughly 1,800%. We went from 10 cents bottom to $1.96. Now, XRP simply does that again with the 51 cent double bottom. That means XRP with another 1,800% pump would once again take us to the roughly $10 range, which once again hits that $7 to $13 that I keep reiterating. And in addition to that, if we just simply think about what has Ethereum and Bitcoin done, what have they done? They have both roughly 3x'd their all-time 2017 highs. And XRP hasn't done that. But if XRP were to do that, and it did simply 3x its all-time high, well, let's once again see where it would go. So if we take the former top of 2018 when XRP topped out of $3.84, that would take us to around $11.50. So once again, very realistic price target, just something that XRP and something that Ethereum and Bitcoin have already both done. They're both roughly 3x their former tops. So Ethereum roughly 3x the 1,500, Bitcoin roughly 3x the $20,000 range, and actually went higher. It hit 69K, right? Not just 60K. And don't forget that in the last bull market, XRP outperformed both Ethereum and Bitcoin in terms of percentages. And I keep reiterating that the price doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter if the price of XRP is much smaller. What matters to us is percentage gains in mathematics. So in terms of XRP, it has already actually done what Bitcoin has done. Bitcoin has gone up roughly 2,000%. And people, they keep talking poorly of XRP, and a lot of people are disappointed simply because it's an alt and it has delivered in the past, and I believe it will do that again. But if you actually pay attention to facts, XRP has already also pumped roughly 2,000%, just like Bitcoin has, from the bear market bottom, to the top of roughly $2. It has also already done 2,000%. So if it actually went to $7 or $13, and just hit that range that we keep seeing several times with several different methods on the charts, it would be up 70 to 130x, which is huge gains, which would once again outperform Bitcoin by a lot. And if you've been following me on Twitter, you know that I've currently only hold 10% of my original Bitcoin bag. The reason being that even if all the people calling for 100 and 150K are correct, which I do not think they are. Now, if we look at Bitcoin, my expectations of Bitcoin have always been, if you've been following me for a long time, if you've been following me on Twitter, you know that my expectations with Bitcoin have always been that it's going to pump roughly 1,500% from the bear market bottom, maximum 2,000%, give or take, roughly. So when it pumped 1,500%, I made sure to start locking in profits, which is exactly why once it hit the $54,000 to $57,000 range, I believe I sold 80% of my Bitcoin and only held 20%. And currently I sold another 10% and only hold 10% of my remaining original Bitcoin bag. But anyway, if we look now, if we take once again the bear market bottom here of $3,200 and we extend it to 2,000% gains, you'll see that Bitcoin is actually pretty much right there already. So it has done the 1,500 pump from the bottom. It has done the 2,000% pump. And, the way I see it is very simple. I keep talking about risk management. I keep talking about maths and percentages and gains. Bitcoin is no longer worth it. So even if Bitcoin does indeed do something like go to 130,000 like people are saying it's going to do, let's look at the percentage gains, right? So let's say we just went from the 54,000 bottom and we hit 130K. That's a 140% gain right there. For me, that's just not good risk management because I'm not willing to risk 2,000% gain and 1,500% gain for another 100 or 150% gain. It's just poor risk management. At this point, anybody who has been here for several cycles has taken heavy profits. And I've never been a believer that Bitcoin is going to go to 100K this cycle or above it. I may be mistaken, but my belief has always been that based on historic data and lengthening cycles and small ROI and percentage gains that were going to pump roughly 1,500 to 2,000%. And that's exactly what has happened. And a lot of smart money has taken heavy profits here. And, once again, the risk management is not worth it, So let's just imagine that Bitcoin is going to go from current price of roughly 57,000 to, well, I'll just say it goes to $100,000 again. That's simply a 75% gain. 75% gain is nothing in crypto. We have coins that rocketed up 5,000, 10,000%. Like Ethereum is up 5,000% from its bottom. Even Bitcoin is up 2,000% from its bear market bottom. You have to be aware of this. If you're a late market participant and you're buying now, of course you can make money, but think about the risk reward management. There are other coins out there who still haven't pumped. They have much smaller market caps and therefore need much less money injected in them to make them go 10 or 20x. And we're going to look at those coins right now. It's much easier to move something that has roughly, I don't know, let's say $100 million in it or $1 billion in it, and pump 10 billion into it to make it 10x, right? Than it is to take something that already has $100 billion in it, and then to 10x it, you would have to go to inject basically another 900 million, a trillion, and it's just insane. This money is insane. You have to be aware of the fact that Bitcoin is, the market cap is already at $1 trillion. This is insanity, and the risk reward management really matters. So if you're here chasing, 75% gains, get 75% gains, kudos to you. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I don't even think that we're going to go, to $100,000 and there are going to be gains like that. I just think that Bitcoin is very close to topping out, or maybe perhaps it already did, top out. I don't know. I would, if I have to bet money, I would say that it can go to as high as maximum $85,000. I don't think that's going to happen. I think probably the top will most likely come in somewhere around $75,000. And, it's just not worth it anymore. Playing Bitcoin is no longer worth it. Bitcoin is the best and safest bet in crypto to make money, but with a very simple strategy. When it's down 70%, you buy. When it's down 80%, you buy. If it's down 90%, if you're lucky enough to get down 90%, because there was a time in the market where it was down 93%, if you're lucky enough to get that, you buy. So you basically buy these major crashes, 70, 80, and 90% gains, and then you wait for roughly 1,500% pump, and you start taking profits. Take profits after 1,000% pump, 1,500% pump, and if you're lucky at 2,000% pump, and then basically lock in those profits and get out, because these are insane gains. It's the safest way to make money in crypto. But remember, you never go into all one into any coin. You must always diversify and have a diversified portfolio, because you never know what might happen. Maybe the SEC will come after Bitcoin next time, or some other coin that you love. But either way, let's move on and look at other coins that have huge potential and much more percentage gain potential than Bitcoin. For instance, let's take a look at Stellar XLM. Here's a coin, just like some many other lagging alts, that still hasn't breached its all-time high that took place in December 2017. So you basically have Bitcoin, the number one coin with the biggest market cap, that needs the biggest injections, excuse me, to move, that has an upside potential of roughly, let's say 100%, is already insane from the current price. I don't think that's going to happen. But even if it was 100%, right? Now let's take a look at XLM and just simply say XLM does 3x just like Bitcoin did from its top. That puts it, with this 3x, it puts it at $2.70. And that's exactly my top expectation for XLM. I expect it to come in somewhere around $2.70 for this bull market. And if you look at the percentage gain ROI from the current price, that's at 800% gain. So you basically might make something like 70 or 80% with Bitcoin, and you can make 10 times that with XLM. We're talking about a coin that's not being sued by the SEC, that doesn't have any regulatory problems. We're talking about a coin that has a big following, that's available on pretty much all exchanges. And we're talking about a coin that has quite a small market cap in comparison to something like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and even XRP. So the potential for this to pump is much harder than for something like Bitcoin to pump. And the ROI is much more rewarding than Bitcoin is. And this is just one of those coins. And we'll take a look at other coins too. But when it comes to taking profits on XLM, my strategy is very simple. So I'm going to take 20% profits once XLM hits 50 cents. And then I'm going to take another 20% profits when XLM hits $1, another 20% when it hits $1.50, another 20%, all the way up until $2.50. So basically, with every single 50-cent move, starting from 50 cents, I'm taking profits. So 50 cents, we're at 50 cents, 20% sold. We're at $1, 20% sold. We're at $1.50, 20% sold. We're at $2, 20% sold. We're at $2.50, 20% sold. Fully out. So I'm not even going to wait for $2.70 to come in, because I don't believe in trying to get exact tops and exact bottoms. I always mention that's basically something that's never going to happen unless you get very lucky. I've literally have never seen, and myself have never done and been able to consistently call exact tops and exact bottoms, and I've never seen anybody do that either. Time frames and calling exact bottoms and exact tops is something that I've never seen anyone do consistently. If they could do it and I could learn, I would, but that's just impossible. Another coin that I'm looking at that I think has definitely potential and to grow, and a lot of room to grow, is XEM. It's an old Dino coin also, and it's one of those laggards that I believe will pump along with other alts and laggard alts such as XRP and XLM in the last coming leg of this bull market, in the last all season, the last days that we've all been waiting for before the blow off top comes and everything comes crashing down, 70 to 90 and even 99% in some cases. So one thing I want to point out, right? Don't forget that we're looking at Bitcoin and comparing this to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, once again, is up 3x from this point here when it was at the 2017 high at $20,000. It's up 3x there. This coin, XEM, is down at this point 92% from its all-time high. Down 92%. Now, it is definitely alive because during the bull market, the 2020-2021 bull market, it pumped roughly 3,000% from its bear market bottom. So it's not a dinosaur coin that nobody remembers. It pumped nearly 3,000%, so it pumped harder than XRP that pumped roughly 1,800%. This one pumped 2,800%, significant difference. Right now, if you compare it to the potential ROI with Bitcoin, this coin, just to come back to its all-time high, would pump 1,200%. So just for it to get back to its all-time high, that's a 1,200% potential pump. Even if it's simply pumped to where it was just recently, that is nearly a 500% pump right there. That is definitely more than Bitcoin is going to give you. Now, if it actually did what Bitcoin has done and 3x'd from its all-time high, that would be a 200% pump, and it would take it to $6. Do I personally think that XEM is going to $6? No, I don't. But I definitely do think that XEM can pump 1,000% from where it is right now. And that is a lot more than Bitcoin can do. Now, Bitcoin is not going to pump 1,000% from here, because that just means that the price would be insane. The market cap would be insane. The money that will have to be allocated into Bitcoin is just not happening in the cycle. It might happen someday in the future in several cycles, but it's definitely not happening in this cycle. And when you compare the risk reward and you compare the percentages and the numbers and do the math, you see that there's a lot more potential in XEM than there is in such thing as Bitcoin, for example. The market cap is much smaller. This is currently number 82 on CoinMarketCap. So it's much easier to inject capital into this and have it pump 1,000%, and it will still be nowhere near in terms of the money allocated into it, in terms of market cap, to what Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP are right now. But it will be up immensely when it starts moving, and if it starts moving. And I believe it will start moving. Now, another such coin that I'm looking at is EOS. One more coin that has huge upside potential. It is currently roughly 83% below its all-time high. Let's check it. Yeah, so it's currently 83% below its all-time high. From the current price, for it to simply pump to its all-time high, That's a 500% pump. So even if Bitcoin goes up 100%, which I do not think it will, I might be wrong. Nobody knows the future for sure. But even if it went up 100%, this simply to get up to its all-time high would be do 5 times better than that. And once again, remember this is 82% below its all-time high, while Bitcoin is roughly 200% above its all-time high. In addition to this, we can once again know that EOS is not dead because it has pumped nearly 800% during the bull market also. So therefore, we know that people buy it when all season begins, and this is exactly what we're waiting for. All of this is only going to happen if the theory, based on historic data that we've seen before, that there's going to be last all season, which I believe there will be, because once again, once we look at the charts, we see that at the end of a single bull market, we've had huge spikes for altcoins when Bitcoin topped out. Just like in 2017, when Bitcoin topped out, XRP kept pumping for another roughly 3 weeks and had a huge upside move, along with other altcoins, of course. This is one more coin that has huge potential. Once again, mathematics, percentages, numbers, very important, this stuff. And I keep reiterating how important this stuff is. While people are out there chasing, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 moves on Bitcoin, yes, they sound crazy, they sound big, but in percentage-wise, these moves are insignificant. So when there's like a 10% move, people get excited. But back in the day when we had other altcoins pumping, such as Ethereum Classic or REN or VET, and I've exited and taken a lot of profits with these coins. I'm riding still some of them, but I've taken major profits with them. It was like people weren't even paying attention to that. Everybody was still talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and whatnot, and other altcoins, but nobody was really paying attention to Ethereum Classic. Same thing is going to happen here, I believe. Things are going to pump, but people are going to be missing out on it. And speaking of Ethereum Classic, this reminds me of yet another coin that we're going to look at, which is Litecoin. The reason why, back in the day I sold all my Litecoin to accumulate XRP dips. I've accumulated some, 2 entries, but now I decided to go back into Litecoin. The reason being that Litecoin is available pretty much everywhere to all the normies. It is on PayPal, it is on Robinhood, it is on Coinbase, it is pretty much everywhere. It's on eToro, it's on Binance. You name the exchange, Litecoin is there. And we know that Litecoin is not dead, and actually has performed better than all the coins here that we spoke of. It has performed better than XRP, than XLM, than EOS, and it nearly hit its all-time high. And we're going to look at the chart right now. So Litecoin, first of all, let's talk about this. Is the perfect example of the W pattern that I keep talking about nonstop. It played out in a lot of charts that was studied before, Bitcoin, Ethereum. It's only taking place with XRP right now because it's taking for XRP for much longer to develop. But here is this W pattern that I keep talking about and that it keeps playing out. Crash, bounce, retrace to the double bottom, and then pump, and then comes the breakout. This has happened with so many coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum being some of them, and many other coins, where it finally breaches all-time high and starts flying. Well, this is exactly the same pattern we're looking for with XRP right now. What Litecoin did, though, is it topped out right there, nearly hitting its all-time high price. But what does this tell us? This tells us that Litecoin has outperformed XRP, it has outperformed EOS, it has outperformed many other altcoins there, and that Litecoin, no matter what anybody's saying, when you look strictly at math and percentages, is very much alive. People are very aware of the fact that Litecoin exists, and they're buying it. In fact, from the bear market bottom, it pumped 1,300%. So while ROI, yes, ROI is not as big as XRP's, it still nearly breached its all-time high. And if it simply does what Ethereum and Bitcoin have done, and many other altcoins have done, and 3x's its all-time high, that's Litecoin going to $1,200. And the main reason I think this is going to happen, just like I did with Ethereum Classic, why I believe that it's going to break all-time highs and pump hard, which it did, was because, once again, Litecoin is one of those very few coins that is available everywhere, and especially it is available to normies. So when it finally breaches its all-time high, 68 million people will be able to buy it in Coinbase. People all over the world will be able to buy it on PayPal, Robinhood. So normies who are not really into crypto will have access to it. And it's one of those coins that is old school. So it has people in the community that like Litecoin. And I simply believe that's going to drive the price up, just like it drove the price of Ethereum Classic up, And I just believe it's a ticking time bomb. So if it does once again a 3x from its all-time high, it's hitting somewhere around $1,000 to $1,200. It doesn't exactly, remember, once again, you don't have to chase exact tops and bottoms. It doesn't have to be exactly 1,200, whatever. That's not the point we're trying to make here. The point we're trying to make here is, once again, that it's definitely going to outperform Bitcoin if we're going to have this final all season that I believe we're going to have. So for it to simply come back to its all-time high from the current price, that's already over 100% pump. And if it does what Bitcoin has done, well, that's basically a 500, 600% pump from here. Once again, much more potential reward than with Bitcoin. And the difference here is that it still hasn't reached its all-time high, while Bitcoin is 3x about its all-time high. Meaning that the higher the coin goes above its all-time high, the riskier it becomes, the more overvalued it is. This is exactly why all these coins, including Bitcoin, are going to crash terribly when this bull cycle is over, and this bull market is over, and the entire cycle is over, and we start a new cycle, and we start the bear market. Every single cycle begins with the bear market. Then we transition into the bull market. The bull market ends, and then another cycle begins again. So here, it simply has way more potential, and it's available everywhere, and people know what Litecoin is, and Litecoin is still one of the major blue chip alts. No matter how much people hate it, I mean, it moves. It moves. Just recently, it moved. Let's see, it moved 175%. Just recently, 175% pump, and everything is crashing right now. But Litecoin is very much alive. It showed strength by nearly hitting its all-time high. And, that's something that a lot of alts still haven't done. So think about that. If we believe that things like XRP, XLM, EOS, and whatnot are going to take off, but they didn't hit their all-time highs or come close, but Litecoin pretty much did hit its all-time high and came very close. Think about the strength this is going to show. It's not being sued by anyone. It's not being sued by the SEC. There's no terrible story behind it or some drama. It's available everywhere. And all it needs to do is breach its all-time high for normies to start buying, because retail loves buying and falling into green. They love buying new high prices. And that's exactly when we're going to start taking profits systematically. And last but not least, we're going to take a look at yet another coin. So yeah, let's get. So, my friends, the last coin in today's video is Bitcoin Cash. It's something that I've talked about before, but it's something that I finally decided to purchase, because I believe we're coming to the end of a bull market, and I believe that these laggards are going to take off. And I never knew exactly how low it's going to go at the end of the bull market, but here it is. We're nearing the end of the bull market, in my personal opinion. And that being the case, I decided to buy some Bitcoin Cash. Now, once again, important thing to point out. And in comparison to Bitcoin, this thing, instead of being 200% or 3x above its all-time high, it's currently like roughly 87% below its all-time high. In addition to that, you cannot say that the coin is dead, no matter what anyone says. From its bear market bottom, it has pumped roughly 2,000%. Wait, I missed that a little bit there. Well, basically it pumped roughly 2,000%, and it has performed quite well. Basically, it outperformed, I believe, even XRP, yeah. So in terms of percentage gain and ROI. So it is not dead. Once again, it's available on many exchanges. It is not being sued by anyone. There's no dark story behind it. It's just simply a laggard sleeping dino that needs to wake up. And for it simply to currently go to all-time high, that would be a 600, nearly 700% pump. Once again, no matter what Bitcoin does, even if it pumps 100%, which I do not think it will, this is 6 or 7 times better than that. And we're not even going to talk about what happens if it breaches its all-time high and it keeps flying. And that's something like Bitcoin did, by doing 3x from its all-time high. Let's see what would happen if that just happened, right? We need to zoom out a little bit. So it will be up to roughly, $13,000. Now, do I expect Bitcoin Cash to go that high? No, I do not. But I do expect Bitcoin Cash to pump hard and pump well and make me very good profits. And I do believe it's a better bet than Bitcoin currently, because once again, Bitcoin is 2,000% above its old is up 2,000%. It's the number one coin. It's up 200% from its all-time high. It has a huge market cap, so again, you need to inject huge capital to move this coin, like 10 or 50%, while it takes much less capital to move a coin like Bitcoin Cash with much more market cap, like 50%. Once again, even if it did go to its all-time high, that's nearly 700% pump, and the market cap would be nowhere near what Bitcoin has done and all that, So it's just something that makes sense to me, mathematically, percentage-wise. When you look at history, once again, these coins, they've taken off, at the end of every single bull market. And yes, some of them will take off and top out before the others. But the way I see it, which are the ones that take off, and I'm going to sell them systematically, take profits. Half of it send it to my bank account, the other half rotate into the other coins that I'm holding and waiting to blow off, and then that's it. So maybe some coins will pump a few days before the other ones, maybe a few weeks before the other ones. I don't know. We'll see exactly how it goes. Time frames is not something you should really dig into. Time frames are not really a good thing, because time frames, they invalidate perfect setups. So you might have a beautiful setup, you're waiting for something to happen, and you put a time frame on it, it expires, you think it's not going to happen, and then it happens. And the only thing you were wrong about is time frames. And nobody can consistently be right about time frames, and nobody can be consistently right about exact tops and bottoms. I've been here in the investing world for 8 years now, and I've never seen anybody to be able to do that consistently, and never am I also able to do that. Which is, once again, you look at everything in rough estimates. Rough estimates are good enough if you're buying very low and selling very high. And you know what? To me, buying a coin, which is basically so undervalued, is so below its all-time high. That's more than okay with me. I mean, it's not 3x above its all-time high, right? It's roughly 80% below its all-time high. So yeah, that's that. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please take your time and kindly subscribe to the channel and leave a like if that's okay with you. I'd really appreciate it, so that more people can see this video. Also, please, tell people about the Crypto Coins Crew channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing day, and bye-bye.